live on Instagram. Beautiful. We are live, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I don't do a whole lot, actually do very little prep, if any, for these. I kind of just like showing up and being with you. Hey, Mary, good morning. But I did do a little bit of reading this morning through, just through what we're going to be talking about today. And it's literally my favorite part of this whole book. So I'm super excited for those of you who are here live, or if you're watching the replay. Yashika, good morning. So glad to see you here. And I would love to just start off, and Mary, I know you'll appreciate this. I want to start off with gratitude. What are you feeling grateful for today? I have to tell you, Jan, good morning. So good to see you. I've just had this very profound experience this morning of so much gratitude, and nothing happened, nothing changed, nothing shifted, just really studying this information more deeply and understanding that when we want to create profound shifts in the results in our life, in our business, in our sales, that emotional signature of gratitude, of wholeness, of appreciation is what does it. It's so important. It's so, so important. Sierra, Rita, Ksenia, good morning. So what are you grateful for today? And maybe you're not coming to this in an energy of gratitude, like, hey, Mustafa, how are you? Maybe you're not coming to this in an energy of gratitude yet, but I want to ask you, if you were grateful for something right now, what would it be? Mary is saying, I'm grateful for the love I've been blessed with. Oh my gosh, that's everything, right? That's beautiful. Alexis on LinkedIn, good morning. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, what are you grateful for? Is it love? Is it health? Yashika, grateful for my husband. Yes, like it's so easy to switch, just to make a switch in how you're feeling by noticing all the things you have to be grateful for. Jan is saying, so grateful for this positive new perspective and to be able to control my life in this new way. Oh, amen. It's everything. It's everything. Yes. Sierra, I'm so grateful for a healthy body that gets to move in the gym every morning. Gosh, isn't that, I tell you, and that one, like just noticing your body, right? Whatever state it's in, I'm 11 months postpartum now, and things aren't all the way they were before. But even today, as I was working out and like noticing parts of my body that I used to criticize and just being like, I love you, I appreciate you, thank you. Like putting that energetic signature in your body is so important. Mary says my pillow was pretty awesome this morning. Yep, right. Rita, oh, I'm so grateful my son Benjamin is sleeping well at the moment. Yes, that's beautiful. Nancy, grateful for life, the good, the bad, everything. Yep, it is part of the journey. Alexis, grateful for your kids. Oh, wow. Thank you all for sharing that. I think just starting off in this energy of gratitude and appreciation is what it's all about. And I would challenge you and encourage you to see how much you can carry this with you throughout the day, not focusing on what's happening in your external world or environment, but knowing that you are the cause, everything else is the effect. And so if you want to generate more sales, if you want to create a partner, like I was on calls yesterday with clients where they were talking about literally like things happening that just don't happen. Like they just don't happen in the natural order of things, but they've mastered this process in their bodies, and opportunities are coming in, money is coming in, clients are coming in so fast, it would make your head spin. But it's because they've learned that they're the cause and everything else is the effect. And so we want to notice like this, right? Keeping this, your heart center open and feeling grateful throughout the day. Good morning, Lori. Great to see you here on LinkedIn. So let's get into it today. And this is something I was actually working yesterday with a private client. He's one of the men that I coach. And he was a very successful guy, but this is new study for him and new learning. And we were talking about meditation because he was desiring a better morning routine. And I said, well, what's your relationship like with meditation? And he was like, oh, I've tried it, and I've like, my mind just starts thinking about things. And then I think about the fact that I'm thinking about things that I'm not supposed to be. And it just like, who can relate to that? Give me a yes, give me a heart if you can relate to that. That was my experience of meditation for so long. And part of it was I didn't know why it was beneficial to train your brain. I didn't know why. I was like, well, maybe I'd feel more calm and still, but I didn't know. Sierra, I'm seeing the hearts. Yes. Like I didn't know that I could actually shift my reality by learning to calm my brain waves and create a new belief system in my subconscious mind. And we talked about that yesterday on the call, and he was like, I never knew that, right? So I think we have to know why we're doing things, right? It's really important for us to know why. Why would you not roll out of bed and just start checking email immediately when it feels like you've got so much to get done? I used to think it was a waste of time to sit there and be still and calm. And we just don't, it's just because we don't know. Lori's saying this morning, I have days like that too. Like it's not as common anymore, but I have days like that too. So we don't want to beat ourselves up. But when we know why it's important to learn how to do this, then we can shift it faster and we can come back the next day and be more intentional with what we're doing. So that's a lot of what we're going to be talking about today. Mary's saying, I too was ignorant. Yep. And it's just, and it's like, we learn at the perfect time and then we can do differently. Nancy saying, when you realize the positive power of being grateful, the amazing feeling you feel when you tap into it, you make an extra effort to find things to be grateful for. Absolutely. And we must search for them and find them, not wait for them to come to us. So listen to this. So we're just going to pick back up. I don't see anyone new yet this morning, but if you're watching this later and you're new, or if you do hop on later, we're doing a book study of Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. So he says, your desires are not subconsciously accepted until you assume the feeling of their reality. For only through feeling is an idea subconsciously accepted, and only through this subconscious acceptance is it ever expressed. And I think that's so important to stop and pause on. And that's why it's not enough to just put a picture up on your vision board and look at it and not feel anything. We must feel it. You must feel it. Are you all with me on this? Does this make sense? That's how you get that idea from your conscious mind into your subconscious. And that's also part of why with your meditation, you want to take and some people will separate meditation and visualization. I've done that too, where meditation is more about just being quiet and receiving. Ashika's saying, yes. Okay, awesome. But the visual is, if your meditation right now is just about being quiet and trying to quiet your mind, that's great. And I would say it's really important to have a separate visualization practice where you actually see the reality that you want in your mind, see the sales call going the way you want it to go, see the opportunities flooding in, see the dream home and feel it. What does it feel like for you? I was this morning thinking about, the home that we've identified that we desire to move into. And part of why I love it is it's got such a beautiful place where we could have clients come in and stay with us and retreats. And it's like gorgeous. I just love it. And I literally was sitting there feeling, what is it like to have clients here in this home? And what is it like to be serving them? And then, having a happy hour out by the pool in the afternoons. And I was feeling it. It was so powerful. And that was like, that's how you know that your subconscious starts to accept it, as you feel it. Cara on Facebook, good morning. Learning that I needed to put the feeling with the thought was where I made the huge shift with my meditation. Exactly. And that's why I like Joe Dispenza's meditations, because they do both and they help you practice that elevated feeling in your body when you're doing the meditation, but do what works for you. Like, this is all about doing what works for you. Mary, you love this. Yes, Mary, you were in the visualization of being there and having that experience. And that's like, it's so exciting. It's so exciting, but feeling that emotion is critical for your subconscious to accept that new idea. Jan is saying change is a process. Totally. And it's one worth going through, right? So he says, it is easier to ascribe your feelings to events in the world than to admit, now listen in, than to admit that the conditions of the world reflect your feeling. Holy crap, mic drop. Who gets what, like, he's literally saying what this is all about, which is that most of us create by default. Most of us look to things outside of us and say, well, this person stresses me out. That situation I just learned about in the news has me feeling fearful, yada, yada. And we give our power away. And then you create that emotion in your body of fear, stress, whatever. And then you're not a match for what you want to create. You're not a match for more money. You're not a match for more sales. You're not a match for more opportunities. So you must learn to stop looking outside of you for things to make you feel good and start practicing feeling good by thinking thoughts that are aligned with what you want, creating that feeling of gratitude, appreciation, joy, love in your body. And then knowing that when you do that, you are now an energetic match for more things of that level to come into your life that you desire. So you literally, again, you are the cause. Everything else is the effect. We have to remember that everything will start to shift around you. That's part of why yesterday, listening to what's happening for my clients, like it is not the things that they have accomplished in the amount of time is not natural or quote unquote normal or natural, but it's because it's because they've learned to do this. Like, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. Cara, so profound. I appreciate you sharing all this. Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure. I love sharing this because I learn every time I get to teach it. So this is for all of us. And thank you. Thank you for your appreciation. He says, it is eternally true that the outside mirrors the inside. It is eternally true that the outside mirrors the inside. And I think it's hard not to think about this now when you're walking around and I was at the airport, a couple of weeks ago and hearing this guy who was just like complaining about the flight. The flight wasn't even late. It was like he had booked a ticket that had him, towards the end of the plane, and he was complaining about everyone else getting to go in front of him. And it was like, I so bad, and I don't want to be like, I don't know. I don't want to be the weirdo who's like, hey, dude, guess what? Outside reflects the inside. But it's hard not to want to share this with people, right? When you hear people complaining about what's going on outside of them. And he just doesn't know. And most people just don't know. I didn't know for many years. But it's a beautiful, empowering shift, is it not? When we can learn this. Elizabeth, Allison, good morning. I love seeing you here. He goes on to say, as within, so without. As within, so without. A man can receive nothing unless it is given him from heaven, and the kingdom of heaven is within you. And I want you to think about this too, because I don't know I pulled a card this morning. I've got this very cool card set. I don't know if any of you have this one. Let me pull it up for you. This was given to me by one of my coaches last year, Journey of Love. I don't know if anyone has that or uses this one, but I don't pull cards very often for whatever reason. It's just not a big part of my routine, but I felt called, like I just felt called this morning to pull one. And it was about contemplation, which is kind of the state I'm in with a lot of things right now of like, I feel like I'm in the womb right now. Like there's stuff percolating, but I don't see it all yet. And it said, I don't even know what this has to do with what we're talking about right now, but I trust that the kingdom of heaven is within you. Yeah. So it said, if you could ask one greatest question, what would it be? If you could ask one greatest question, what would it be? And to me, I think about the group calls. So many of you are in the 10K club, and it's like the group calls for that program. We come on, and sometimes and when I talk to my coach too, right, it's easy to have a question about like, how do I hit my revenue goal this month? Or how do I get more people on my lives, or whatever the target is? But it really made me think about like, what is my question actually right now? And I wrote down what showed up for me. I'm just going to look at my journal here. How do I create heaven on earth for myself and everyone around me? How do I create heaven on earth for myself and everyone around me? And I would really encourage you to think about that. Like this part, the kingdom of heaven is within you. You think you've got to wait to get there. It's now, my friend. It's now. So what would it look like for you to show up and live in such a state today where you feel like you're in heaven, right? Because you can do that. You can do that. You have that power. Yashika, that's beautiful. Yes. And it puts everything else in context too. All the natter, all the low vibrational thoughts, if you're experiencing any sort of fear, stress, worry, doubt, like what if you just put it all through that perspective? How could I create heaven on earth today for myself, for my clients, for my prospective clients, for my family? And what would that be like? What would that feel like, right? To take it full circle. He says, nothing comes from without. All things come from within, from the subconscious. It's impossible for you to see other than the contents of your subconscious. And this is so good. So I'm going to read one more sentence and then we're going to stop. Your world in its every detail is your consciousness objectified. It's impossible for you to see other than the contents of your consciousness. And that's why, like, I was coaching another client yesterday who is, she's in a situation where she feels stuck and she feels limited in how she is able to bring in money. And it's because, and we've all been there. Like, I've been there, we've all been there. But when we get there, it's because our consciousness is limiting us. Like, I was able to look at her situation and other women in the group too, to say, like, there's so many other ways you could bring in money right now. There's so many other options. And she just wasn't seeing it. And it's because, like, you will only see the world through your belief systems. Does this make sense? So she wasn't able to see all the other ways that money could come. And I think she will now, right? And that's part of the value of coaching and seeking outside counsel. But you will only see what you believe to be true for you. And there is real science behind that. It's called the reticular activating system in your brain. It's the bouncer of your brain. It filters out everything that does not align with your belief systems. So if you believe that money is hard to come by, it will be, because your reticular activating system is going to block you from seeing. It's going to filter out opportunities that come to you where you could make money. Okay. Your subconscious will never make you a liar. It won't. So he says, objective states bear witness of subconscious impressions. A change of impression results in a change of expression. Now, I want to keep going because this last line here, this is my favorite part of the whole book. The subconscious accepts as true that which you feel as true. So whatever you feel to be true your belief system will be, that's true for me. So if you feel like the world is a scary place, it's going to be a scary place. If you feel like the world is a beautiful place and we're all connected, which is the belief system I have, it's going to come across that way to you. And because creation is the result of subconscious impressions, you, by your feeling, determine creation. Now, listen, this is my favorite part. You are already that which you want to be. And your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. Who gets chills with that? Does anyone else get chills with that? Think about, who is it that you want to be? And just knowing, thank you for the hearts, Allison, like knowing so many of you, knowing your hearts. And some of you are very clear on what you want to be. Some of you are in that inquiry right now, and wherever you are, that's perfect. And that's fine. Ooh, lots of hearts, right? But you're already what you want to be. It's already done. The only thing that's blocking you from it is your refusal to believe it. I don't know what else to say. I feel like that's it. Lori's saying, can you say that again? Yes. All right. You are already that which you want to be. And your refusal to believe this is the only reason you don't see it. Yeah. It's, how empowering, right? Think about what it is you want to be right now. Think about why it is that you're here, why you show up for these lives every morning, why you are investing your beautiful, precious life in being here in this morning, this time together, this morning, this afternoon, whenever you're watching. Why are you here? And if you think that you're not it already, whether it's a top-rated keynote speaker, whether it's a multimillionaire, whether it's the top sales producer on your team, whether it's a world-changing entrepreneur, you're already it. It's just that you don't see it. That's it. And so what if you started to see yourself that way? What if you started to see yourself as you actually are? Which is an unlimited, expansive, powerful, being, you have no idea what you're capable of. You have no idea what you're capable of. Thank you for the hearts. Mary, you're welcome. Kara saying that one sentence makes me want to go celebrate. Yes. Yes. Yashika, so good. Yes. And we can make ourselves wrong. We can disqualify ourselves. I disqualified myself for so many years. I would say she can do it or he can do it, but not me. Not me with my lack of experience, not me with my, I don't know, this excuse, that excuse. Can anyone relate to that? And I just want you to know that if there's something you desire to be, it's because it's for you. What you want wants you back. It's seeking you back. And I think part of why I was feeling so much gratitude this morning, I'm doing a deep, deep, deep dive study into quantum physics right now, which is like, the nerd in me is so happy with this. Is anybody else deep into quantum physics? I know my ladies in the 10K club are like, some of you are really into it. Some of you are kind of like skimming the surface, but I'm going to start bringing more of that into our conversations, because when you understand there are laws that govern our world, like gravity. I'm not going to get too deep into it right now, but there's Newtonian physics, which is like, it takes time to get where you want to go. And if you want to, have a $10,000 month, you got to make X number of calls and you got to do this and do that. And that's where it's like matter on matter. Like it feels like more of a slog, but quantum physics is the study. It actually trumps Newtonian physics. So it's the study of tiny particles, energy, matter. And when we learn how to operate that way, things can happen like that. And so that which you want to be, you already are. And all you need to do is align with it energetically. And part of that is seeing yourself as that person. So I would say for today, Lori's saying, you're into it. Yep. Yashika, you're into it. Mary, yes, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. It unlocks so many possibilities that when I look at what is happening for the women in this program, in this group, in this community, and some of those quantum leaps, it's like, that's how it's happening. That's how it's happening. Can anyone relate where you've had something happen that felt where it was like you wanted something for so long and suddenly it just happened like that, and it felt out of the blue, it felt unexpected, it felt like it shouldn't happen naturally that fast, right? And it's because we learn to align with the energy of what we desire. And that a big part of that is seeing yourself as the person who you really are. So Wendy, good morning. I want to end on that sentence. And then we're going to I think tomorrow we're going to start talking about how to use your sleep to actually program your subconscious to create more of what you want. So that's going to be a really good, juicy one. I do have a call right at the top of the hour, but does anyone have a quick question, a quick comment? Thank you for the heart. Anyone. And if you haven't signed up for the challenge yet next week, who signed up for the challenge? Give me a heart, give me a yes in the comments. I hope to see you there. Skyrocket your sales, ElyseArcher.com/challenge. It's going to be so much fun. I was reading through the Facebook group, just comments on the Facebook group last night from the women. I know some of you who are signed up. That's awesome. The women in this group are so beautiful and so going for it and so just heart-led and ready to make more money, ready to make more sales, but to do it differently than we're taught we have to. And so, I just want to be there and spend time with you. Lori, you're signed up. Awesome. Yashika, yes. Oh, Allison, you're awesome. And I'm excited to go on your podcast in just a little bit, sister. This is going to be amazing. So get yourself signed up, ElyseArcher.com/challenge. We kick off Tuesday. And I love you. I'm grateful for you. I so appreciate you being here. It lights me up to see each of you every morning / afternoon / evening, whatever your time zone is where you're tuning in from. So lots of love, my friends. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your Thursday, and get signed up for the challenge, and we'll see you soon. All right. Have a great day. Bye.